All right, she's rolling. Let's do the next installment of Tell Us Your Best Story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Jack Massing, one of the art guys. If you don't know the art guys, do a quick Google search, the art guys. You do...
3 words.
Yeah, you do a lot of, you do a lot of different kinds of art.
Thinking.
Google search it, don't worry about it. So Jack,
Yes.
you're well known in the community. You have statues at the University of St. Houston. Yeah. But I want to hear your best story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pecos Hank and Spencer Schyma.
They're cousins, by the way.
So tell us your best story, Jack. I'm eager to hear this one.
I grew up in Buffalo and up north, and I was born in Buffalo. Actually, I was born at Sisters Hospital in Buffalo, which is about 3 blocks from the Anchor Bar. The Anchor Bar on Main Street in Buffalo is where the Buffalo chicken wing was started. So
is that true?
Yeah.
Because you told me before...
Buffalo wings do not come from buffalo, they come from chickens. But they were originated, the recipe was originated in Buffalo. That's why they call them buffalo wings. And the Anchor Bar, as I grew up and became of drinking age at 18, we would go to the Anchor Bar and have a few beers and eat chicken wings. And they were originally put out as a bar snack.
Can I just interrupt? And this isn't a joke interruption.
Okay.
This is for real, just so you folks know. I have trouble believing Jack because Jack actually got me once on a long, drawn-out lie, I guess you'd call it. I guess it was an art lie.
It wasn't a lie, it was just BS.
Jack told me and a bunch of people that that in college he started going around to bars and at shows yelling out Freebird. And you would go from place to place and do this.
Right.
And so that he was the guy that started the yelling Freebird at concerts. Yeah. By the way, we're doing some reconstruction on the home here.
You can Google Freebird in my name, and there's a
Does it actually
there,
come up? There's an article that came up about him being the guy who started Freebird. So I thought it was true. And when I did a CD release party, I asked him to come up, and he said he was thinking of retiring it. I asked him if he would come up and yell Freebird for the last time at my show, which he did, but I thought that he was actually for the last time the guy who started yelling Freebird
was retiring.
It was all BS, and he got me.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure about your story, but this is a true story you're telling.
Right. So growing up in Buffalo, I played ice hockey. Right?
Okay.
And we had, when I was growing up, we had a lot of favorite ice hockey players. Okay. Gordie Howe was one, and Bobby Hull, and different really famous ice hockey players of that era. Right. And it was the last part of that era where there were a couple of goalies that were playing ice hockey without masks. And if you can imagine getting a slap shot with a puck coming about 90 miles an hour and hitting your jawbone or your forehead, you get stitches, right? You get a lot of stitches.
Or staples in your head.
Well, that was leading to that, thank you. So when some of the first goalie masks came out, I believe it was Gump Worsley, it may be some other netminder goalie, they put the stitches on the mask in the places where he had been hit in the face by the puck.
Nice.
So, and I thought that was a beautiful, poetic, almost a sculptural idea.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to me.
These were the first ever masks?
Well, no, they were the first newer contemporary masks. Mm-hmm. They had cages in front of their face, plastic, and then they put these plastic ones,
gotcha.
Which like Freddie.
And they did an homage.
Freddie Krueger had one or something,
mm-hmm.
right?
No, it was Jason.
Jason.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so hockey's a violent game,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of hockey involves fighting.
Went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Right.
The old joke. Yeah.
So I have several stitch marks on my eyes, and my eyebrows have been compromised.
I still find it hard to believe you actually played hockey, but go ahead.
My shins are compromised, and my eye sockets are compromised from injuries, repeated injuries playing hockey.
A few things compromised, but yeah.
Didn't you just say that?
Go. Story, please. We're rolling. We're actually rolling.
So my story has to do with ice hockey and violence.
Okay.
and blood and guts and stitches.
Are you
and all
serious?
That.
My second
Yeah.
story. The second.
So
The second one I'm doing. The first one was violent, also. All right, go ahead. They're not all going to be violent.
this is not violent, actually. This is countering violence.
Okay.
As I grew up, my parents taught me to be gentle and to not to fight and to do, good things in the world, which I'm happy that they taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
My father was actually my hockey coach for several years when I was younger. He was coach and assistant coach for a couple teams. And they discouraged fighting.
Good.
Well, one game that I was in, I was being harassed by this other player, a defenseman on the other team, and he wore glasses, so he had his helmet and his mouth guard and everything, and a pair of glasses, which we all thought was a little weird because you shouldn't play hockey with glasses. But we were fairly young, so less violence and less danger of collision there, or bad collision.
I'm hearing kind of a Chaim Potok thing.
So
starting
as
here,
the game
Chosen.
progressed and this kid kept bugging me, I was getting antagonized and frustrated and angry with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we met at one point, and I checked him to get the puck away, and he dropped his gloves to fight. That was the signal. If you wanted to fight, you just shook. You drop your stick and you shake your hands.
Yeah.
The gloves come off.
Yeah.
Right. That's the whole
pounding the chest.
The gloves come off. That's kind of what that phrase is from, right?
You've learned two things on it. Yeah.
So as he dropped his gloves, I dropped mine, and with my left hand, I reached up and I took his glasses off of his face and set them on the boards. There's the boards come up and then there's the glass. So there's this little drink rail around the whole rink, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even set him there. I just kind of threw him in that direction. Took his glasses off, kind of threw the thing, and I turned with my right hand and I smacked him right across the face. And I knocked him down.
Well, that was nice of you to take his glasses off first.
And a lot of times when there is a fight in hockey,
You wanted to beat him up. You didn't want to pay for a pair of glasses.
Right.
I understand.
there's the bench empties oftentimes when there's a fight.
Yeah.
So two guys start fighting, and both benches empty, and everybody's fighting.
Yeah.
Which
Same in baseball.
We weren't really old enough to
Same in a
have
band.
that. Yeah, same in a band. So I looked down at him and I turned and skated away because I was done. That was my fight. One hit.
You were one hit wonder.
One hit wonder. I didn't knock him out or anything. I just knocked him down. Because he was down, I felt safe, and I turned and I skated toward the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of the bench emptying, all the players are in the bench, their gloves are off, and they're clapping. And the coaches are clapping. And it was the weirdest thing because it happened like that. I didn't think, and then I realized what was going on because I set his glasses down before I hit him. They were all clapping for that, not for the fight.
So,
And
even though you hit a guy, you still showed
some
gentlemanliness.
some chivalry, I suppose.
Sportsmanship and gentlemanliness.
And in the National Hockey League, there's a Lady Bing Award that is given out. It started in like the 1920s, mid-1920s, where the players that were recognized for being most sportsmanlike would get this award, right? So at the end of the year, at the banquet for the hockey team that I was on, as in most banquets for little league or minor league sports teams, they have these banquets and they give out awards. And you get award for scoring the most goals, or being the best goalie, or
An
most
award show.
assists. Well, that year I got a Lady Bing Award from my team, which was a stick about this long with a red velvet boxing glove on the end and my name on the stick.
Do you still have it?
I do not.
That's sick.
I may still have the glove, but I don't think I have the stick.
Now, let me ask something, just as we wrap this up. Is that your first and only fight
No, I was in 2 fights
in your whole life?
in hockey.
In your whole life, though?
No.
Have you been in other fights in your life?
I've been in maybe 5 fights.
Really? Because I was telling Hank, as he was telling his story about getting in a fight at a Link Ray concert, that most people have not gotten in a fight.
Most people have not, and I've only
I don't
gotten.
agree with that. He says that most people, men, I guess, have never been in a fight.
Probably now.
All right, we'll discuss this as we
I'd
go.
rather
but
walk away
Jack,
from a fight than
thank
be
you.
in a fight.
Oh, let me get one little ancillary story, an extra story. Tell us about the time that the art guys, drove around the 610 loop for what, 24 hours?
Yes, Michael Galbraith and I, the other art guy.
610 loop is here in Houston, Texas. It's a big loop around the entire city.
Yeah, we decided to celebrate our 30 years of collaboration
As the art guys.
as the art guys with 12 events, and we devised the 12 events. So we did one event a month,
And one of them is driving around
Throughout
the
the
610
calendar
loop
year.
for 24 hours.
and one
And
of
didn't
them,
you have like people that people could listen in to this or something?
we did several things. People could call in or text in. We had people call us from different countries. We bought a burner phone,
That's what I mean. You broadcast it
and we
somehow.
broadcast it through different online media.
And Hank, didn't you go around the
He
loop
was our
with them a few
driver.
times?
I got the graveyard shift. You had different drivers.
Yeah, because Hank's such a rock and roller, keeps late hours. We asked Hank to drive at night.
Spencer, did you go around at all? I didn't get to go either.
Anyway, the art guys, 12 events. The piece was called Loop. If you want to go check it out, you can see there's photos and descriptions of it there.
Check it out, folks. Until next time, and tell us your best story. Thanks for joining us.
Let's pull out some
Good work, guys.